That boy DH took care of us. You know what I'm saying? He took care of us. This is gonna be a quick reaction, I promise. But DH took care of us. He got that the dumb psychology of a street nigga. Man,
So before we get into this video,
talk to me.
there's some stuff I want to tell you guys, just real quick. And
Okay, I'm here.
because the community is growing, I think I need to make it clear right now before we get any bigger. And that is the fact that I love everybody, bro. And this is a safe space for anybody. And I know I be trolling, I be joking, I be mad critical, but trust me, the content really is just a break from the monotonous everyday life. Indulge in some drama, laugh a little bit. Yeah, we're having serious conversations, but let it be just a break from reality. The world is mad scary, it's mad dangerous, and I care for all you guys, seriously. Even the ones that don't connect with what I'm saying, even the ones that don't resonate with the messages that I insert in my videos. And obviously I'm referring to the Charlie Kirk stuff, which I'm not gonna make no full video about it. I'd rather not, but I will say I'll bring it up in a different video, but this ain't the time. Not right now. That's really all I had to say. Again, I love everybody. You should love everybody, and it's a safe space, but enjoy the video.
Shout out that man DH. He know what he's talking about.
So with Young Thug having various phone calls leaked, I want to speak about just how dumb the street mindset is and how it's only a self-imposed prison that parts of the black community has put themselves in. You have a grown man losing his mind on the timeline trying to explain himself to niggas who, at the end of the day, don't give a fuck about him because he feels like he has to uphold some arbitrary set of rules put on him by a bunch of people before him, people that are ignorant. And it gets even crazier when you realize he's yapping about loyalty but can't even be loyal to his woman. But we got a lot to speak about today.
I'm not gonna lie. He kind of ate him up with that one thing. I'm not a glazer of Young Thug. I appreciate his influence in the music industry. You know what I'm saying? And you have to call a spade and appreciate the effect that he's had on other people. But he's looking crazy right now, gang.
Already know I'm the hood Socrates, and let's actually start. Now you may be familiar with the YSL RICO case that happened a while ago, and if you know the feds hit you with a RICO, chances are your life is sealed and you're marked for prison. The feds do this to encourage snitching and potentially having the people they are charging incriminate themselves. The thing with Gunna in particular is that when he was released, he took an Alfred plea deal, which according to Gunna, he had no intention on being part of the trial or testifying against his homeboys. And to sum up an Alfred plea deal, it's basically saying, I'm still innocent, but low-key you niggas full box me, so regardless of me being innocent, I'm still gonna go to jail. So how about I take the lesser sentence while maintaining my innocence? That's what an Alfred plea is. It's Gunna maintaining his innocence while acknowledging the likelihood of him getting incarcerated is high, so he'll take a lesser sentence. And on top of that, apparently Gunna's deal was entirely his and it had nothing to do with the rest of the members, and that's why he got out so early. He essentially ended his involvement. So why did everyone call him a snitch? Thug included? I'm not sure, but that's why I'm talking about the psychology of a street nigga, because it's just so dumb.
Okay, so my understanding of the situation is this, right? So basically, they offered the opportunity. So they really wanted Young Thug. They consider him to be like the head of the snake in this situation. Ironic, I know. So they wanted to get as many of the under guys to say, hey, YSL is a criminal organization. It is, there is behind the scenes work that's going on that is of the illegal nature. And they laid it out for everybody. They said, hey, if you say YSL is one of these organizations that shouldn't exist, we'll let you go. That's all you gotta say. All you gotta say is it's a criminal organization. That's it. That's it. That's all. And we'll let you slide. And Gunna was the first one to do it. Now, I don't know if he's gonna discuss it in this video, but I also heard that Young Thug actually tells his brother to take the deal and just say YSL is a criminal organization so that he can get free because everybody else did it already, this, that, and the third. And then Young Thug was like talking to 21 Savage on one of the calls that got leaked. And he said, hey, isn't this what you wanted though? Like, isn't this what you were hoping for? And he was like, well, no, like Gunna didn't talk to me about it. He just sat there and took the plea. So to me, that's stitch. He's like, bro, didn't you have your brother do it though? He's like, I mean, yeah. And he's like, so what's the real problem? He's like, Gunna doing it like that, that just really hurt my heart. And that was the realest thing he said the whole time. But um, I understand both sides of it. And I appreciate 21 Savage being real enough to hold Thug accountable and push him to that point to where he's like, all right, bro, you got it. I just didn't want him to, like, out of everybody that could have did it to me, I didn't want him to do it to me. And we've all had that situation before. Not to this degree, obviously, but you know, somebody's like, wait, who told you that? Who even said that? And they sit there and say, yo, man's like one of your day ones or one of your bros for real. It's like, bro. It's like out of everybody I thought would sit there and tell on me, I didn't think you would though. Out of everybody that I thought would sit there and try and take a cop out, I didn't think you would though. Principle's the same, loose connection with this situation though, obviously.
Me 2 seconds to find all that information. The plea can't even be used against the YSL members. Why are niggas calling Gunna a snitch? But to be fair, there was a clip of him seemingly ratting in the courtroom.
Please state after each statement whether or not you agree or acknowledge that statements are truthful, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I became affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and a gang, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang.
Ooh.
Yes, ma'am.
But again,
That's-
according to
that's
the
part of
deal,
it.
this footage is irrelevant because it wasn't used in the case against YSL. But it's easier to disparage someone than it is to look at the facts. That aside, I said all that to say the street nigga code is dumb and inconsistent, which I'll get into because the theme of betrayal is constant with Thug. But let's take a look at some of his leaked calls, which I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if this violates some type of rights, but it's crazy they was just dropping all these leaked calls on the timeline. Like, I was gonna make a joke, but I feel like that wouldn't be politically correct, so I'm not.
I saw the girl, Gorilla.
Yeah.
Why do people say she pretty? That be ugly as fuck.
You think she ugly?
You said it. Like, yeah, they say she ain't ugly. People, niggas be saying she ain't ugly. That bitch ain't nothing.
They just saying she look like Rihanna.
Man, be like goddamn Brianna.
Oh man.
Thug is on the phone with his girlfriend Mariah, and trust me, I'm gonna get to her, cause she's a bird brain girl. She one of them women who will let a nigga dog the hell out of them and still stay. And to all the women that watch my content, please know your worth, especially all my black queens. If a dude cheats on you, he don't love you. Don't be a Mariah. But when this clip dropped, the timeline was
What
in
GH
shambles, cause
said.
number one, what part of the street code says gossip and pillow talk? He's out here pillow talking about an innocent woman, and then Mariah comparing her to Riri, trying to set her up. I don't know if that was a diss towards Rihanna, so I don't know how I'm feeling about that one. Honestly, I'm tired of the Glorilla hate. People always be on her body about the way she talk, her looks, etc.
Yeah, Glorilla do be getting glazed. I wanted to read that though. Hold on.
Honestly, I'm tired of
Glorilla, first of all, I'm sorry to you for my words, and I honestly don't think you're ugly at all. I was speaking from jail, just having a hard time with life. I don't like bashing girls and hardly ever did. I'm sorry to you, twin. Is we for really right now?
the Glorilla hate. People always be on her body about the way she talk, her looks, etc. And it's just hella frustrating because a lot of the Glow disrespect stems from the hatred of Afrocentric features. Glorilla just looks black, and people don't like prominent black features like our big noses.
Okay, all right, yeah. I think I think Glorilla, me personally, right? I don't think she's ugly. I'm gonna say that, but this is one. To me, this feels like one of those. Who's that guy that started crushing on Kim Kardashian right after her and Ye hit the rocks? The ugly dude. He's dated like Ariana Grande and all them. You know who I'm talking about. His face popped in your head, even if his name didn't. Your face popped in your head. Girls were saying he's ugly fine. Where like he has good individual layers of his face. Like if you split his face into thirds, the thirds look good, but the thirds together on him don't look good. And I think it's the same thing with her. Because I don't think individually her facial features are bad at all. I think that together, all three of them together, don't look like a great combination. And it does happen. But that doesn't make her ugly, right? She's just not the prototypical standard for beauty, so to speak. And you could say that that is more Eurocentric than Afrocentric. Fair play.
But it's cool though, cause Glow did respond first by saying Thug was blowing up her phone to see her eyes, and that caused a lot of people to think that he was dissing her because he really liked her. Yesterday, which was the time of writing this, she also dropped a diss track on both Mariah and Thug. It's like I said,
That's a
Mariah
bad look.
really is a bird who keeps going back to a cheater, which makes the diss make even more sense because how are you gonna take back a cheater and be talking mess about another woman? I didn't know that part of the street code was to be pillow talking innocent people who didn't do anything to you. And mind you, Mariah brought Glow out for birthday bash, so that shit was just mad disrespectful. But it's cool, because here's the call of Thug admitting to having one of his hoes posted at his crib.
One of my little hoes, one of my little girls, she posted stuff on the internet at my condo from a long time ago. Mariah, I called Mariah this morning. She's like, man, girls posting in your condo. I'm like, oh my God. I hung up on her. I'm gonna dunk on you. Cause I mean, yeah, baby, you found me about a girl in the condo a minute ago. I'm like, cut it out. It was a minute ago though. It was days before I got locked up, man. But it's a minute ago. It's been a month and a half. So whatever happened, it has been a month and a half. You can cut it out.
There's no way
Whatever happened, it's been
how he just be sitting there on the phone talking about a whole lot of nothing, like he's not literally in jail, as if they weren't gonna record these calls. This was always a possibility that could have occurred. I don't know why he just didn't think it was gonna happen. I don't know if he thought he was invincible or what.
a month and a half. It's been a month and 15 days. So whatever she's doing, man. Well, it's been a month, like 8-10 days or something like that. Like, whatever, I ain't doing it with her. So, what to do?
And after that, she was all sad posting and shit on her IG story and whatever. But it's like, I don't really care. She done taken this dude back time and time again. Thug even did this dumb public apology to her, and that's equally disrespectful in my opinion, especially because Thug be preaching about betrayal and how hurt he is, yada yada, but he be betraying his woman every chance he gets. In some minor form of karma, Kodak Black was shooting his shot at Mariah.
Like, what type of feelings is that? You basically saying, I know you got a man, he locked up right now, and, you know, I want him to get out, but, shit, in the meantime, fuck with me. Like, what?
Now, with all that dumb stuff out the way, let's talk about the interview he had, because it gives more insight to how he was feeling, and I'm not heartless. I know he was locked up, and that was hard, so let's give it a listen.
So listening to people tell you, like, well, you the wizard. You ain't going to prison. And then you got to understand, man, I was in jail 3 years, bro. Like, I was praying 3 whole years. At some point, I started thinking, like, the prayers ain't working. You got to understand that, too. Like, I'm going through shit every day. I'm looking at my best friend, them do what they do. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at certain shit.
Wait, he was in jail for 3 years?
How I'm feeling.
Golly.
Like, I ain't never been a nigga to pillow talk. I ain't never been a nigga to talk about nobody else in my life on the phone with nobody else. I never been that type of nigga. I've been, these last few days, I've been sitting around like, what the fuck was I thinking? Like, what I was doing?
I appreciate you saying that.
I think I was just so fucked up, and I just felt like it was just over. Like, I'm just sitting in jail 24 hours on 23 and 1. I'm in a cell 23 hours. Like, at this point, I'm just like, man, I don't give a life. It ain't what I'm thinking it is. Like, I'm just talking. At this point, I'm just talking.
That might be real.
This is a pretty good explanation for the pillow talking. Thinking you got life in prison and using the limited calls you have as a way to get dopamine, it makes sense. I'm not gonna say it.
I gotta take back what I said. If he was really in jail for 3 years, at that point, I'm not gonna lie, gang. I am just calling my boys and talking about nonsense. I'm not about to sit there and treat it like, I don't care if they record my calls. I know they recorded my calls. I don't care, bro, because I'm just talking about anything I want to, bro. I'm not talking about anything incriminating. We talking about girls. We talking about money. We talking about people's families. We talk about anything. Because at this point, if 3 years, mad long. Imagine you get locked up right after you have a kid, and you're like, you hold the baby in the hospital, get back to your wife, you get locked up, boom, you gone. 3 years. That kid's walking and talking. You missed your kid's first steps. Them walking for the first time. You missed mad stuff in your kid's life. So when you put it in that context, 3 years is long. Now you say, okay, just you yourself individually, 3 years isn't super long. Fair. But if people are like, oh yeah, you're facing like incredulous charges, like you're not getting out, gang, and then 1 year turns into 2 and 2 years turns into 3, you start believing a little bit.
Excuses it, but it is a valid explanation. Because if I was
don't
Thug,
excuse it, but he's right.
I personally would have, so fair enough. But what got me though was a clip of him talking about being betrayed by Gunna for signing a paper.
My twin, bro. I don't got my friends, bro. I'm just up, right? I'm fucked up, bro. The nigga who I be with every day, I don't got him no more, bro. I'm fucked up, bro. Damn. Fucked up, bro. I don't know what to do, bro. Like, and I ain't lose no nigga to a tragic. Now I lost a nigga to betrayal, bro. You signing that one piece of paper, signing your initials on this one piece of paper could get me a life sentence, my nigga. Like what? Come on, bro. I get a life sentence all this piece of paper you signed, bro. Just cause you trying to get home fast, or you just trying to get to a hole, or you just doing a certain thing, bro. Ain't no nigga in the world making me go against Gunna. No nigga, bro. Yeah, you been around me 10 years, knowing you told on our other brother, you told on dude.
Here's the thing. Under two conditions would I understand this. The first being that if Gunna didn't, take a deal that specifically wasn't going to be used against YSL, I'd say fine. And number two, if Thug wasn't a hypocrite. He be dogging his woman out all the time. Why does the street code not extend to the women you're supposed to love? That's why I think it's dumb, because it's just arbitrary sets of rules that only exist to hurt and limit black men. Thug is hurting right now because of these rules. And don't get me wrong, I understand niggas grew up different. I'm not about that life at all. But from an outside perspective, free my people. Free my nigga Thug from the shackles of the street code. Because Thug don't even gotta be in that type of pain. Nor should he be embarrassing his woman all the time. Also, he did claim he bought a Gunna to #1, but I'm not sure how true that is, or if that's because he's feeling spiteful due to Gunna quote unquote ratting. Also, here's another reason why the street code is dumb.
If we go to prison for the rest of our life, whoop-de-doo. We go to prison, nigga.
I don't know about y'all, but personally, I don't want to see no black men in prison. It's not.
I don't want to see nobody in prison for no reason. I would love, I miss being a child and thinking that all adults, they all knew what they were doing. I miss thinking all adults would always choose the right thing. And the people that were like, the kidnappers and the criminals, they were just born bad people and we should have known it from the beginning. I miss those days. Cause dude, nah. And he tripping. He overly tripping. What you mean? If we go to jail for the rest of our lives, whoop-de-doo. No, I will not sniff the inside of a jail cell, brother. You got it. Me though, I'm cool. I'm overly good. I'm not going at all.
Whoop-de-doo. And Thug is also an artist, so I'm just confused on why he's able to rationalize that when a life sentence would limit his ability to make his art. Music is literally an expression from the soul. Why would you be okay with taking a life sentence, especially someone like Young Thug? Also, the nigga got fans. I really don't be bumping Thug music, but he has all these supporters, and it just feels like, I don't know, maybe care a little more about your freedom. Hey man, but let's take it back to the leak calls. Thug was caught laughing at a Lil Baby diss.
I don't know, bro. Like, yeah, that was Gunna. Been like, he pushed up on me knowing you were beating with a rap. It was jazz and smart, man. Yeah. Oh God, but he ain't lying though. He ain't lying. He did.
And this led to him writing a long apology letter to various people, plus an apology record, which, I do respect. But I think that's all I had to say about Young Thug. I think dude needs some time to himself, because during all this, Gunna hasn't said a word. Well, for the most part, because he did actually say his piece, and it's about what you'd expect.
I can't drill on it, because it's like, I see it. You see it. It is what it is. I can't sit in that space, though, and like, damn, why he hate me? Why he, like, I got more shit to do. So it's like, staying, like, busy, staying, like, mind on, like,
you got a compression on?
It's gonna keep me from, like, not worrying about certain shit that just, I can't even change. That go back to, like, when you see something that you really can't fix it, I can't give it too much attention because I got more shit to do. I can't change how you feel or if you mad or you hating on, I can't change that, and I ain't trying to.
This is a pretty high vibrational response. What Gunna is basically saying, I can't control other niggas, but I can't control me. But what I'm gonna do is not give into a negative frequency. And that's real. The reason Thug is spiraling and going through all of this stems from that reluctance to let go of the street code. He has to prove something. He has to live by this code for the rest of his life, even if it's no longer beneficial to him. Unlike Gunna, who despite being labeled as a rat is looking better than ever because he discarded all that. He stopped caring about all that. But hey man, I might go spark up, not gonna lie, it's a good ass Friday, but I love you guys. Thank you all for the support.
He said I did spark up. Yo, DH, you a fool, bro. I appreciate that vid though. He not wrong, being in them streets, doing all that sort of stuff. It's not sweet, it's not funny. I hope that a lot of young people, in my age group and the age group under me, I hope that they realize that it's not worth doing. I hope that they just, move up off it, because there's no point in continuing to do this stupidity. There's no great gain that comes out of all of it, right? It's death, dishonor, and jail. What you want? And temporary happiness between bread and hoes. Is that really what you want? No. Anybody that I saw that had real money, real ability, real power didn't live that life. So why would I want to live that life? I don't care for the momentary gratification, the enjoyment of 2-3 years of my life, 4 or 5 years of my life. Nobody's trying to be trapping for 30 years. But you 30 years old still trapping. Get out of my face. You sitting there talking about being a snitch and all this extra stuff. And I understand the issues there, right? But at the same time, we can't act like all this sort of stuff is just justifiable and we should just go along with it. We should just believe whatever you say. We should just follow whatever someone so said because they said it. No, it has to make sense. It has to be productive. It has to benefit us and the people around us. I'm not going to sit there and hurt you so that I can win. And if I'm willing to go that far, me and you will have that conversation beforehand. So it's not even a surprise. When people say, hey, yo, you know he said XYZ about you, right? You know he used your money to do XYZ, right? They're not going to sit there and be like, what? What happened? When did this happen? No, he's going to know. We would have had that conversation already. He said, yeah, he had my blessing. I told him he could go ahead and do that. We already knew all about that. I already knew all about that. At the point where you feel like you have to snake somebody out and you have to be somebody that you never showed yourself to be, you're already out of body, you're already out of character, and that's not an environment you need to, subject yourself to. So just don't, in the most respectful way possible. And I hope this sort of stuff gets cleared up for them, and I hope this serves as an example for like I said, my age group, the age groups under me, and they recognize, let's go blue and white collar, man. Let's do real work. Let's do some real trades. Let's get real jobs. You know what I'm saying? Because anything that can take away your freedom and and what you're gaining isn't the equivalent of freedom, it's not worth it, dude. It's just not.